Welcome back. We're doing another race review of the French Grand Prix. The MotoGP race was held in Lemans this weekend. It was a big race. Over 276,000 people were there for the race weekend of the 1000th MotoGP race. As we're about to begin, Francesco Bagnaia is on pole. Marquez jumps out to the lead, and Jack Miller takes second place. Pecco is shuffled back to fifth place. Not a good start for Pecco on this first lap. Now Marquez is also running the new chassis. The Kalex chassis is on the Honda as he jumps out to a quick lead in the beginning of the race. But on lap 3, Jack Miller is able to catch up, and on his KTM, he's able to pass Marquez for first place. Things in the race settle down until...
I have a bad feeling about this.
On lap 6 at Le Mans, Maverick Vinales crashes into Francesco Bagnaia. It is a racing incident. Francesco Bagnaia might have been slightly more at fault, but no penalty was given.
Are they fighting?
Yeah, both riders were heated after this and both started fighting each other. It's understandable because both other races were over and they were just pushing and shoving, and it did end pretty quickly. The stewards got involved. In the end, they're still friends. After this, on lap 6, Luca Marini is losing his front end and he's trying desperately to save it. You could see him here on his elbow trying to save it and not crash his bike. And Alex Marquez comes up unsighted and they get into a collision. It was a pretty bad collision. Marquez walked away, but Marini had to be taken to the medical center, and then Alex Marquez was still on the track. He had to dodge bikes that were coming at lightning speed. Luckily, Alex Marquez suffered no further injury. On lap 8, Marco Bezzecchi pushes Marc Marquez wide, and he's given a penalty where he had to drop one place, which he's able to gain back on the next lap. Top 5 on lap 9 were Jack Miller, Marco Bezzecchi, George Martin, Marc Marquez, and Johann Zarco. Jack Miller starts losing his grip on first place, and Marco Bezzecchi is able to pass him on lap 11. And then he loses further places to Marc Marquez, so now Jack Miller is down in 3rd place. He's fading fast. Jack Miller loses another place to George Martin, now he's down in 4th. And like every race this season, Johan Mir crashes his Honda once again.
Comes up once a year like Groundhog Day.
He did it again, did you see that?
I know the Honda this year is hard to ride, but every week he crashes? Come on. Alex Rins also crashed out at this point in the race on lap 15. His race day was over. It looked like he lost his front end. But you know who can't lose? You! If you like and subscribe, we're bringing you racing videos about the MotoGP and racing world. Please like and subscribe. Brad Binder was given a long lap penalty for cutting the track at turn 9. KTMs weren't having the best day. It was a very hot day at the racetrack, over 40 degrees. From lap 21 onward, Marc Marquez and George Martin were having a battle for 2nd and 3rd place. It was a pretty intense battle. It was going back and forth. Marc Marquez was in 2nd for most of it. Lap 25, Jack Miller crashes out of the race. I think he overcooked his tires. You see this team member of Honda taking a drink in the Honda garage? He's gonna need it.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I don't feel good.
Neither does the Honda team, because at this point Marc Marquez crashes out of the race with only 2 laps left. His race day was over. He seemed to have been handling the hard riding Honda. See the guy here? The water's not enough right now. And his race day was over, unfortunately. With all the carnage happening behind him, it didn't matter. Marco Bezzecchi is able to win the French Grand Prix at Le Mans. Marco the Bez ran a great race. He was leading by over 4 seconds when he crossed the finish line. This was a great race, by far the best race of the year so far. The only 13 riders actually finished the race. I'm not sure if this had to do with the heat. It was over 40 degrees on the track. So it was Marco Bezzecchi in 1st, George Martin in 2nd, and Johann Zarco in 3rd. So it was great for Johann Zarco because this is his home race. The crowd were super excited. As I said, it was a huge crowd. Almost 300,000 people. That was the equivalent of the entire city of Buffalo, New York, or Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, being at the racetrack. So congratulations to all the winners. It was a great race. By far, this was the best race of the season. Also, this is the 1000th MotoGP race. Great way to show off MotoGP at Le Mans. Also, this race, I'm gonna have to give it a 9.5. It was a really great outing. It was a great race. Francesco Bagnaia, I thought, had the power, maybe could have won the race, but he crashed out on lap 5 with Maverick Vinales, so we won't know. Also, with Marquez crashing out with only 2 laps left, he seemed to be handling the Honda a lot better. They got the new Kalex chassis. He was in a podium spot before he crashed out. Also, Jack Miller was doing so good in the beginning of the race. He seemed to overcook his tires and he crashed out on lap 25. I think he just needs to pace himself better and he'll be able to become a champion. There's no more racing for a few weeks in MotoGP until MotoGP goes to Mugello on June 11th. But we'll be having more videos of the MotoGP season. Also, we'll be doing a Red Bull video this week. We think we figured out the secret to why they're beating everybody by over 10 seconds. More MotoGP racing videos coming up in this week. Also, Indy 500 this month, we'll be covering that. So I hope you stay tuned and stay on the channel. Please like and subscribe. Red Bet signing off.